United States Constitution starts with the words, "We the people," and attached to it is a Bill of Rights, which sets out individual liberties and justice and the opportunity for people to have equal treatment under the law.
At this point now, I have the high honor of presenting the rights of people with cognitive disabilities and technology access.
The Declaration of Rights for People with Cognitive Disabilities to Technology and Information is really a statement of where we think the American Disabilities Act left off.
It outlines the various ways in which people with disabilities should have the same kind of access to technology and the internet and all forms of interaction in today's technological world.
Also, it promotes a definition of disability based on the social model where the focus is not on the individual and the need to adapt the individual to society, but the focus is on the social barriers encountered by the individual, by people in general, and the need to adapt society to the wide range of abilities that exist in society.
But what's most important about the declaration is it is a joint declaration where many organizations from across the country representing various components of the disability field have come together and agreed on this statement around the principles in the declaration.
And a lot of people kind of know that technology is moving and they embrace it and they adapt to it really quickly, but they may not be aware that people are being left behind, that we're creating a bigger and bigger digital divide between the people that have technology and information access and those that do not.
Technology is so important really to connect people with each other, to be able to help people get around the community in terms of transportation. And so I think there's a huge social aspect to technology for people with cognitive disabilities.
I think the social inclusion, nowadays there's many different things on the internet that help people be more social. There is Facebook, there's Twitter, there's many other websites that people need to have access to be a part of so that they can interact in the community and the things that are happening that make a difference in their lives.
It can be the help that someone needs to go to work. It can be the help that someone needs to live in their home, or to read a book, or to listen to music.
Technology is opening up avenues for people to feel fully participating members of society that wouldn't have existed and don't exist without these technologies. But it's more than that for people with cognitive disabilities. It's a means for them to live lives that are much fuller than the lives that they live now, live quality lives, and live lives that are as much like the rest of the world as they want to.
Technology use is not just for fun and games. If you can't navigate technology in our society, you have limited access to work, to living in the community, to a whole array of things. If we don't begin to address this now, people with cognitive disabilities are going to be further discriminated against in all aspects of life.
People with visual impairments often use screen reader technology. People with hearing impairments may use captioning. People with cognitive disabilities use all of those activities and also require content from the web, digital knowledge that is usable, understandable, relatively easy to use, and capable of equivalent knowledge transfer.
Fair access means that the cost of the technology is not a barrier to getting access to the technology and using it. That the design of applications that give access to information are not a barrier for people using those technologies to make choices and live the kinds of lives that they want to lead.
Each cognitive disability has different aspects. Software should be able to interact at that level.
Fair access is when individuals with cognitive disabilities have at their disposal smartphones, tablet devices, web access in such a way that they can accomplish what they want to do with those devices.
If we don't take action now to make sure that they are included through accessible design, they will forever be excluded from society as the rest of people will continue to communicate and live and learn on a platform and that is not accessible to other people with cognitive disabilities. It's that important. It's that important.
The rights of people with cognitive disabilities to technology and information access. Whereas, 28 million United States citizens have cognitive disabilities such as intellectual disability, severe persistent mental illness, brain injury, stroke, and neurodegenerative disorders such as Alzheimer's disease. People with cognitive disabilities are entitled to inclusion in our democratic society under federal laws such as the Americans with Disabilities Act, ADA, the Developmental Disabilities Assistance and Bill of Rights Act, DD Act, the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, IDEA, Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act, and under state and local laws. The disruptive convergence of computing and communication technologies has substantially altered how people acquire, utilize, and disseminate knowledge and information. Access to comprehensible information and usable communication technologies is necessary for all people in our society, particularly for people with cognitive disabilities, to promote self-determination and to engage meaningfully in major aspects of life such as education, health promotion, employment, recreation, and civic participation. The vast majority of people with cognitive disabilities have limited or no access to comprehensible information and usable communication technologies. People with cognitive disabilities must have access to commercially available devices and software that incorporate principles of universal design such as flexibility and ease of use for all. Technology and information access by people with cognitive disabilities must be guided by standards and best practices, such as personalization and compatibility across devices and platforms, and through the application of innovations including automated and predictive technologies. Security and privacy must be assured and managed to protect civil rights and personal dignity of people with cognitive disabilities. Enhanced public and private funding is urgently required to allow people with cognitive disabilities to utilize technology and access information as a natural consequence of their rights to inclusion in our society. Ensuring access to technology and information for the 28 million people with cognitive disabilities in the United States will create new markets and employment opportunities, decrease dependency on public services, reduce healthcare costs, and improve the independence, productivity, and quality of life of people with cognitive disabilities. Therefore, we hereby affirm our commitment to equal rights of people with cognitive disabilities to technology and information access, and we call for implementation of these rights with deliberate speed. View endorsers of this document and join us at colemaninstitute.org/declaration.